Hi, welcome back to Food Travel Shopping Channel, and you're watching Restaurant Remake. And today at the Restaurant Remake, I am going to do another Cheesecake Factory series here. So I'm gonna be releasing a couple of video related to Cheesecake Factory dishes, which some of you guys have requested. And today I am going to be doing the Thai lettuce wrap. Now, if you have not yet checked out my other video on the Restaurant Remake of Cheesecake Factory, I will put those linked in the description box below, such as my favorite appetizer, avocado egg roll, or another favorite dish of mine is the Louisiana chicken pasta. So check out those videos as well if you're interested or if you're in love with Cheesecake Factory. I'm gonna give you a little disclaimer here that this video will be slightly longer than usual, because the Thai lettuce wrap actually have a lot of components to it. So I'm gonna show you every step of the way how to prepare this particular appetizer, and I'm gonna guarantee you that you will be the new favorite cook in town. So let's get cooking. Okay, first of all, here's the ingredients to marinate our chicken for the Cheesecake Factory lettuce wrap. Okay, so to do the marinated sauce, I have my glass container here. I'm gonna go ahead and add all basically the ingredients for the marinade: the red pepper, the minced garlic, the ginger. So a lot of Asian cuisine involved with ginger, garlic. Those are pretty much standard procedure here to do any marinade. Okay, so my lime juice and 2 tablespoons of water. All right, set this to the side. Now I'm gonna show you how we're gonna prepare our chicken breasts. All right, so you can also use chicken tender, the tenderloin. If you're using chicken breasts, what I wanted to do is to actually kind of butterfly the chicken breast. All right, so we're gonna cut this into strips. Now at Cheesecake Factory, they provide 6 pieces of chicken. So at home, you're gonna get a little bit more. So there we have it. All right, so we're gonna transfer over here to the marinated sauce here. We're gonna put all our chicken in there. All right, so make sure the marinade is gonna submerge our chicken breasts. All right, so this looks good. All right, I'm gonna marinate this for 2 hours. All right, so if you don't have 2 hours to spare here, so when you marinate, you wanna do it at least for 45 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna put my cover and we're gonna put this in the fridge. Hey, here's the ingredients for our Thai coconut curry noodles. Okay, so according to the package for my Vietnamese noodles, once I boil the water, I'm gonna put this into the noodles into the water. All right, so I'm just gonna use my chopstick here just to submerge the noodles before I adding more. Okay, essentially we want to have all the noodles submerged into the water and just break it off here. All right, so the package says cook it for 5 minutes. I like to add water and bring it back to a boil. Okay, in the meantime, we're going to try to separate the noodles a bit. All right, so after 5 minutes, the instruction tells me to turn off the water and then just continue to submerge the noodles for another 5 minutes. All right, so we're gonna put this to the side here and then we're going to make our sauce in the meantime. All right, so in the meantime, we are going to heat up our coconut milk. All right, we're gonna add in our red curry paste and we're gonna bring this to a simmer. So we wanna break down that curry paste and mix it really well. All right, so once the coconut milk is started to simmer on the side here, we're gonna add in our other ingredients. All right, first I'm gonna add in my chicken broth. All right, I'm gonna add in my garlic. I'm gonna add in my yellow curry powder. And then the pinch of turmeric. Okay, we're gonna add in our fish sauce. All right, let's give it a good stir. Finally, I'm gonna add in my lime juice. All right, we wanna cook this for about 2 minutes and keep it simmer during this time. Alright, so back to my Vietnamese noodle. I had rinsed under cold water and strain the water out from the hot water that it was submerged in, and rinsed it under cold water. And now we can add the sauce in, and we're gonna cook this for another 2 minutes so then the noodles can really absorb the flavor. Alright, so we're just bringing it back to a boil. Alright, so once you bring it to boil, you can turn off the heat. Alright, so I'm gonna transfer the noodles. Okay, I'm gonna transfer the noodle to another mixing bowl. Because at the restaurant, they're not runny, okay? Now, the purpose right now is just to have the noodles to have that color. So we don't want any of the actual sauce here. So we're just gonna transfer everything to another bowl. Now keep in mind, we have to let these cool down because we're serving it as a lettuce wrap. And at the restaurant, Cheesecake Factory, they serve it like more of a room temperature, not like ice cold, but more like room temperature. And particularly from my end, I use a slightly thicker noodles, the Vietnamese rice noodle, than what the Cheesecake Factory used to serve it with. So you can actually get, whatever you want, essentially. Alright, so finally in the mixing bowl here, I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of the coconut milk in here. So that's just to give it the creamy texture that when you go out at the Cheesecake Factory, it's more creamy flavor. And I'm just gonna toss that. Now you can see the steam coming up here. Maybe not, but it is very hot right now. So I'm gonna transfer everything over to my glass bowl, and I'm gonna put it in the fridge and we're gonna cool it. So next we have our bean sprouts, and I'm gonna show you how to prepare for these. We are just gonna give the bean sprout a quick blanch. So a real quick blanch with hot water, and then cool it immediately. Rinse it with cold water immediately to stop cooking. And then we're just gonna toss it over with soy sauce, sesame oil, and the sesame seed. All right, so I'm gonna cover it with my lid and I'm gonna put it in the fridge. In a small saucepan, you can add in the water first. Add the sugar in because we really want to dissolve our sugar. Gonna add my rice vinegar in as well. Finally, I'm gonna add the salt, and we also want to dissolve the salt as well. All right, so in a medium heat, we're gonna stir this until the sugar is melted as well the salt is melted. So basically putting it on the heat is to just melt the salt and the sugar. So once everything is melted, now we can turn off the heat and we're just gonna pour it over to a glass container. Alright, so while we are waiting for the marinated to cool off here, which is the vinegar water and sugar and the salts, we're gonna go cut our onions. Alright, so for the onions, we're just simply gonna cut it into strips. Alright, so in a glass bowl, I'm just going to put that in. Alright, so once we've chopped it off, the red onions, we can just use our hand to just loosen it up, break it down. Alright, so put this on the side. Now we're gonna take care of our cucumber. Alright, so I'm gonna peel off some of the skin of the cucumber here, leaving some of them on. Alright, so we are going to de-seed our cucumber as well. Okay, so we're gonna cut right down. And we're just gonna take out the seed. Alright, so I'm just gonna use my spoon to seed. Alright, so once I remove the seed, I'm just gonna cut these. Alright, and we're gonna toss them in directly into our... Alright, so let's go ahead and give this a toss. I'm gonna add my black pepper in now. I'm just gonna use my hand to toss this. It's just a little bit easier doing it at home using your hand. I'm wearing my gloves, so that's good. Very simple salad to cucumber salad here. And we're gonna put this in. It's like pickling. It's a little bit like pickling because we're also incorporated the rice vinegar and the sugar. So it's gonna be a little sweet. All right, so we're gonna put this in the fridge. So after a simple marinade, again, that's why we're doing it a little bit like on the earlier side here, because this one we want to put it in the fridge and continue to marinate. All right, so for the carrots, I'm gonna julienne the carrots here. Now, if you have one of these handy dandy too, it will julienne the carrots into small pieces here, which is gonna save you a lot of time. So this is a great tool. All right, so if you're interested to buy something like this, I will add this tool, a kitchen gadget that you can use in the description box below, and you can check that out. All right, so I'm also going to cut some of my red cabbage lettuce here into a smaller round pieces here. So this will be part of the decoration in terms of the plating. So we're just dressing it up, and I'm just gonna put this into cabbage leaf here. I have a Le Creuset grilling pan here, cast iron grilling pan, and I am gonna put some oil, and I'm gonna go ahead and brush it around because it's easier to spread the oil this way. All right, so definitely preheat your pan first before we put our chicken onto the grilling pan here. Now we're gonna add our chicken in, and we're gonna grill them. All right, so we wanna cook each side about 3 to 4 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and flip it. All right, so if you want the chicken to be a little bit more yellow just for the presentation, you can actually put some turmeric just to finish the process here. So that will give the chicken some more color, a little bit more yellow. And this is definitely something that's optional. All right, so some of these chicken is done. I'm just gonna put them on a separate plate for now. All right, so these are the ingredients to make our peanut sauce. All right, so I'm gonna add in my garlic powder here first. And then gonna add my Sriracha sauce. So that's gonna give it a little kick. Okay, I'm gonna add the honey in. It's gonna give it a sweet flavor here with my honey. All right, just gonna give it a good mix here first. I'm gonna pour in the sesame oil. All right, I'm gonna put in the peanut butter now. All right, so for the peanut butter, it's easier to weigh it. So basically 2 ounces of peanut butter. All right, so at this stage, it's easier to whisk our ingredients together. All right, so we wanna whisk it until everything is really smooth. All right, so that looks a lot better now. Who doesn't like peanut butter? All right, unless you're allergic, of course, unfortunately. Then I would substitute with, almond butter if you're not allergic to almond butter. Or you can do cashew butter. So for those who are allergic to peanut butter, you can always substitute. There's nothing wrong to substitute in this case. All right, so I'm gonna finish whisking here. All right, so now you can see the sauce is more liquid and runny, so that's good. That is exactly what we wanted. All right, so I'm gonna just do the peanut sauce for my lettuce wrap. If you are interested to have the tamarind dipping sauce, you can check out my avocado egg roll, and I showed you how to make that sauce. But for this one, the star ingredient is the Thai peanut sauce, so that's why I'm doing the Thai peanut sauce here. All right, so you can check the taste here. You can try out the taste here first, and if it's not salty enough for you, then you can add a little bit salt. But I'm satisfied with the taste here, so I'm not gonna add any salt here. I'm gonna start prepping the plating process here. I'm gonna put some sauce here into a small bowl. Okay, you're definitely gonna have a little bit more sauce as a leftover, and then you can just put it in the fridge. Okay, you can use this sauce for anything. Okay, I'm gonna be using a very large plate here. All right, so as I'm preparing for the plating process, I just wanted to cut some more of these red cabbage into a smaller pieces, like a bowl shape, so I can put my ingredients, such as the Thai noodles. We have our bean sprout. All right, so you just cut it like this and you put it in like a bowl shape. Make sure you wash it. And let's also dry it as well. All right, so this is gonna look really nice. All right, so I have the Thai noodles, I'm gonna have the bean sprout, and then I'm also going to have the cucumber. So I'm gonna cut 4 of these red cabbage bowl. All right, so just repeat the process. Dry them, I washed them already, so you can dry them. All right, so I'm just gonna position these red cabbage in onto the serving plates. All right, I'm gonna put basically the red cabbage bowl to 4 corners. So we're just gonna put our bean sprout into one of our red cabbage bowl here. And I mean, this is something that you can definitely do at home, and you're like, you know, with this presentation, you're gonna be ready to impress your friends and family when you serve this. All right, so next we have our cucumber with red onions. And we're gonna take this and put it into one of our cabbage bowl. I'm gonna put it next to the carrots, because I feel like these two are leaning towards more Western style than the actual Thai cuisine. I mean, they do have cucumbers, you know, in traditional Thai cooking. But, yeah. Now finally, it is come down to the coconut curry noodles. And we're just gonna put some of these noodles into our very last red cabbage bowl. All right, so you are definitely going to have some leftovers here. Okay, so finally we are ready to place our chicken. So I'm just gonna put it right in the middle. At the Cheesecake Factory, they only give you 6 pieces, but at home you can be a little bit more generous. And especially if you are having this as an appetizer to serve, I think 1 pound of chicken will be very good for the party. And that's it. Okay, so put the lime back in to garnish. Okay, so I present you the CopyCat version of the Cheesecake Factory Thai lettuce wrap. As you all know, in Restaurant Remake, I always try out my food. So let's give this a try. So I have my buttered lettuce. So basically you can do whatever you want with the arrangement. That's the best thing. Or that's why I guess most people like the Cheesecake Factory Thai lettuce wrap, because you build your own food, essentially. So I want a little bit noodles here. Bean sprout, definitely. Still little small pieces of chicken here. All right, I'm gonna add some carrots on top. My cucumbers, and then some red onions. All right, and don't forget some peanut sauce. Now, like I said, if you want other sauce, check out the tamarind sauce, dipping sauce. That one is in the avocado egg roll. I will put the link in the description box below. All right, so now finally, taste test. Mmm. It is so good. So in a way, I think this is like a healthy version of like tacos, you know? So instead of taco wrappers, you would have the tortilla, you would have the lettuce wrap. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this great episode of the copycat version of this Thai lettuce wrap from the Cheesecake Factory. I believe that my presentation is way better than Cheesecake Factory. So if you think so, please hit that like button below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I would love to hear what is your favorite dish at the Cheesecake Factory, because you might inspire me to recreate that particular dish on Restaurant Remake. So stay tuned for our next video. Thanks for watching.